And a good Wednesday morning to a volatile situation unfolding in the Middle East.
Iran unleashing a new wave of attacks overnight. It's April 22nd. This is Today. Breaking overnight, Iran's military attacking multiple ships in the Strait of Hormuz overnight, straining that fragile ceasefire. U.S. warships still blocking the critical global waterway. Plans for peace talks now on hold. We're live in the region. Breaking overnight, Democrats score a major victory in a high-stakes showdown. Voters in Virginia narrowly approving plans to redraw that state's congressional map, what it could mean for the critical midterm elections and the balance of power in Washington. Hot seats, tense hearings on Capitol Hill. The president's pick to lead the Federal Reserve, pressed on whether he's truly independent.
Are you going to be the president's human sock puppet?
Senator, absolutely not.
Well, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. facing tough questions over his stance on vaccines and the disturbing rise in measles cases on his watch. The latest from Washington. Overhaul. The nation's antiquated air traffic control system now getting a much-needed high-tech makeover.
These upgrades are going to make travel more seamless. We're going to make our skies safer.
As we learn about another close call at a major airport, the FAA now investigating how two planes came within just a few hundred feet of each other. We're live with the latest. Those stories plus primed to profit. Amazon jumps into the $100 billion weight loss industry, offering same-day delivery of the most popular GLP-1 medications on the market. So could it save you money? And oh, baby. The National Zoo's newest addition, a 500-pound pachyderm making her grand public debut today. The long-awaited moment visitors won't forget. Today, Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026.
From NBC News, this is Today with Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melvin. From Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Nice to have you with us on a Wednesday morning. This is the baby elephant we need right now.
Yes.
Lynn Mai.
Lynn Mai, a quarter ton, and it's been a quarter of a century since we've had a baby elephant born at the National Zoo, so we cannot wait to meet her this morning.
So cute.
Lynn Mai. But first, let's get to that major news breaking overnight. Iran attacking multiple ships in the Strait of Hormuz, complicating those diplomatic efforts to resume peace talks with the U.S.
Also new this morning, Virginia voters have passed a new redistricting plan that could give Democrats a big advantage in that state in the upcoming midterms.
And meanwhile, we're learning about another close call in the skies as our outdated air traffic control systems prepare for a major upgrade.
So much to cover on a Wednesday morning. Let's get started with Keir Simmons. He's following those developments out of the Middle East. Keir, good morning.
Savannah, good morning to you. President Trump's aim is to force the Iranians back to the negotiating table here in Islamabad. But this morning, the battle to exert control over the Strait of Hormuz has intensified. Iran seizing two ships, according to Iranian state media, a third ship fired upon with gunfire. This morning, hours after President Trump's ceasefire extension, Iran attacking vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. A cargo ship suffering heavy damage, according to a UK monitoring organisation. Now, news of more ships fired upon and seized by Iranian forces. Iran unmistakably sending a message to President Trump. Overnight, the president continuing to threaten Iran over the Strait of Hormuz, posting that he has, quote, totally blockaded, and that despite requests to open it, quote, if we do that, there can never be a deal with Iran unless we blow up the rest of their country, their leaders included. In Tehran, demonstrators paraded a missile launcher as Iran refused to attend peace talks here in Islamabad, demanding the Trump administration lift its blockade and saying the US couldn't be trusted. Lead US negotiator Vice President Vance, who had been set to travel to Pakistan, instead arriving at the White House, his trip now on hold. An advisor to Iran's chief negotiator writing that Trump's ceasefire extension means nothing, urging a military response to the US blockade. President Trump says Iran's leaders are divided and that he'll wait until the regime can come up with a unified proposal. But in the Strait of Hormuz, Iran's hardline military are calling the shots. Over the weekend, during the ceasefire, it fired on an oil tanker, the captain pleading with Iran to stop its attack.
You gave me clearance to go. You are fighting now. Let me turn back.
And this morning, the US also showing force. CENTCOM posting a video.
We're rearming.
Of aircraft carriers and fighter jets during a ceasefire that remains as fragile as ever. And Savannah, Iran's ambassador to the United Nations saying overnight, as soon as Washington ends the naval blockades, I believe the next round of negotiations here in Islamabad can take place. The problem is President Trump believes that the blockade is his leverage and that the Iranian leadership is divided. Savannah, for now, this looks like a stalemate. Savannah?
All right, Keir Simmons, thank you very much.
Well, now to a move that could shake up the approaching midterm elections. Overnight, voters in Virginia approving a Democrat-backed redistricting plan that could swing the balance of power in the House. NBC senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez has more on the closely watched vote and the potential fallout as well. Gabe, good morning.
Craig, good morning. This is an escalating fight over how and when the lines of congressional seats are drawn. Usually, it happens every 10 years based on population figures. But last year, President Trump pushed for Texas to do it early, to give Republicans an advantage and possibly get more seats. Now, Democrats are fighting back.
Overnight, a vote that could tip the balance of power in Washington. Democrats winning a fierce fight in Virginia. Voters approving their plan to redraw the congressional map, potentially giving them up to 4 more seats as they try to win back the narrowly divided House of Representatives. The high stakes leading both parties to focus on Virginia in recent days.
We're urging everyone to vote yes to stop the MAGA power grab.
You just have to vote no. It has to vote no. You can't let this happen.
Former President Obama even getting involved.
Make a plan, show up, and vote yes, Virginia.
The vote was narrow, and it's part of a larger battle across the country. Kicked off when President Trump last year called for Republicans to launch redistricting efforts in multiple key states to help them in this year's midterm elections. Democrats countered with their own proposals in other states. In Virginia, focusing their campaign on the president, who warned his supporters it could mean his opponents take over Congress.
The great things that we did now on a national basis, it's going to be destroyed.
Trump has been hitting the road campaigning for his party.
This November, we're going to win the midterms.
But the president's approval rating is sinking at his lowest point of his second term in NBC News' latest poll, partially driven by the unpopular Iran war. A challenge for the White House as it tries to hold on to that razor-thin majority. Though most self-described MAGA supporters do still approve of Trump's handling of the war, some high-profile Trump allies are speaking out. Tucker Carlson breaking with the president he helped get elected, even apologizing to followers for campaigning for Trump.
I do think it's like a moment to wrestle with our own consciences. We'll be tormented by it for a long time. I will be.
Virginia's redistricting effort will likely face legal challenges going forward. The state Supreme Court has reserved the right to rule on questions surrounding the measure. But this Democratic victory in Virginia could motivate Republicans elsewhere to try to make changes. The GOP in Florida, for example, is now considering their own redistricting effort. Craig.
And Gabe Gutierrez from the White House. Gabe, thank you.
Now to 2 tense hearings on Capitol Hill. President Trump's pick for Federal Reserve Chair was on the hot seat, and the Secretary of Health as well, both facing a grilling from lawmakers. We've got the key moments from both. We'll start with NBC's chief business correspondent, Christine Romans, with the latest. Hey, Christine, good morning.
Good morning, you two. Trump's Fed chair nominee, Kevin Warsh, is a former Federal Reserve governor who expressed commitment to reform and policy regime change, as he calls it, within the Federal Reserve. Those senators fiercely grilled him over his competence, previous investments, and most importantly, his independence from the president.
Truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
This morning, the man President Trump wants to lead the Federal Reserve and slash interest rates says he won't be beholden to the president.
Are you going to be the president's human sock puppet?
Senator, absolutely not.
Kevin Warsh, a former Federal Reserve governor, testifying before the Senate Banking Committee on Tuesday. At times, the session getting heated with questions on his financials.
Could you answer my question, please?
Whether Trump lost the 2020 election.
I believe that this body certified that election many years ago.
And if he's suitable to maintain independence from the president. Warsh adamant the president did not demand he cut rates in exchange for the job.
He didn't ask for it. He didn't demand it. He didn't require it. And nor would I have ever done so.
Hours ahead of Warsh's testimony, the president again demanding lower interest rates.
Will you be disappointed if your new Fed chair, if he gets approved, doesn't cut rates right away?
I would.
The backdrop of the hearing, the president's intense pressure on current Fed chair Jerome Powell.
We have to find out why is a job that should have cost $25 million costing billions and billions of dollars.
And the Justice Department's probe into Powell over a building renovation it claims mismanaged funds, allegations a judge called unsubstantiated. Retiring Republican Senator Tom Tillis doubling down that he would not vote for Warsh until that probe is dropped.
If we want to get Mr. Warsh confirmed, we need to drop the investigation, move on.
All right, Powell's term as chair ends in May, but if Warsh is not confirmed in time, Powell could continue to lead the Federal Reserve, potentially setting up for a new stage in the battle over the central bank, guys.
All right, Christine, thank you.
All right, from that hearing to another on Capitol Hill, Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. facing tough questions of his own. Lawmakers using a budget hearing as an opportunity to grill Kennedy about vaccinations, the measles outbreak, and whether he will support President Trump's CDC director nominee. NBC's Ann Thompson joins us with that part of the story. Ann, good morning.
Good morning, Craig. RFK Jr. is back on the Hill today with lawmakers for more hearings about the budget. But what ignited fireworks yesterday was his reported handling of dead animals and his controversial stance on vaccines.
What began as hearings about the health department's budget quickly devolved into heated exchanges with Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Respectfully, you know what I really wish you'd spend more time on? More time thinking about the American people, less time talking about whale heads, bear heads, and raccoon parts.
I don't talk about any of those things.
Okay.
You guys.
Kennedy unable to escape intense questioning about his vaccine skepticism, something he has repeatedly denied.
Not anti-vax. I've never been anti-vax. I don't believe all vaccines are bad. I've never said that. What I've said is they should be safety tested.
Kennedy also scrutinized for hesitating when asked about President Trump's CDC nominee, Dr. Erica Schwartz, who has publicly supported immunizations.
If Dr. Schwartz is confirmed, will you commit on the record today to implement whatever vaccine guidance she issues without interference?
I'm not going to make that kind of commitment.
Because you will not accept the recommendations based on science.
The vitriol from Democrats didn't stop there, criticizing Kennedy's overhaul of the childhood vaccine schedule, a move a federal judge has blocked.
This is real life, Mr. Secretary, and you have blood on your hands.
Kennedy defending his handling of the nation's worst measles outbreak in decades.
The measles epidemic started in January 2025, before I came into office. So the problem is not me. There are people in this country who do not vaccinate.
Last year, 2 children in Texas died of the disease, with nearly 2,300 confirmed measles cases nationwide. So far this year, there have been more than 1,700 cases. During a separate Senate hearing, RFK Jr. showing support for Surgeon General nominee Dr. Casey Means, who has faced criticism over her vaccine skepticism.
She has nothing to do with vaccines, never going to talk about them.
Now, on a related note this morning, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced that the U.S. military will no longer require all American troops to get the flu vaccine, citing medical autonomy and religious freedom.
All right, Ann Thompson for us. Ann, thank you.
Also this morning, the Transportation Department announcing big changes to our nation's air traffic control system, unveiling significant technology and equipment upgrades aimed at making air travel safer. And it's coming just as we learn about another close call involving 2 planes. NBC's senior national correspondent Stephanie Goss joins us with the details on all of this. Steph, good morning.
Hey, Savannah, good morning. There is a good chance air travelers don't realize just how old our nation's air traffic control system is. Use software from the 90s, floppy disks, and outdated radar systems. All of that is going to get an overhaul. Well, just this week here in New York City, we got another stark reminder of just how critical that system is.
This morning, we're learning more about a near miss at New York's JFK Airport. The FAA says two approaching planes came so close to each other Monday, their onboard alerts sounded, forcing one to perform a go-around instead of landing. It comes as Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the nation's air traffic control system is finally getting a badly needed makeover.
These upgrades are going to make travel more seamless. We're going to make our skies safer.
Some of the technology currently in use is really old. The change is coming after a string of near misses and deadly incidents.
Stop.
Just last month, an Air Canada flight hit a fire truck on the tarmac at New York's LaGuardia Airport, killing both pilots. And last year's mid-air collision between a military helicopter and an American Airlines flight in Washington, D.C. killed 67 people.
How desperately in need is the system of an overhaul?
It's been in need of an overhaul for decades.
Dave Riley worked as an air traffic controller for 32 years.
For air travelers who might not be aware, they're probably thinking, God, did that compromise our safety?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's definitely some issues that go on, and most of them happen behind the scenes that the flying public is not even aware of.
The changes, which the DOT estimates will take 2.5 years, include software that uses artificial intelligence and a lot of new hardware, like 27,000 radios and hundreds of new radar systems. An antiquated paper strip system that is used to track flights has already been replaced in 17 towers with a new automated digital system. And at 54 airports, there are new surface awareness systems that help track traffic on tarmacs. One of the toughest challenges remains recruiting new air traffic controllers. Victory! The Transportation Department now actively trying to recruit gamers who they say are tech savvy and have good eye-hand coordination.
The DOT is spending $12.5 billion approved by Congress, but Secretary Duffy says that is only specifically for a lot of this hardware that they're updating. To update the software, he says they're going to need more money. Savannah?
All right, Stephanie, thank you very much.
All right, time now for that first check of the weather. Weekend today's Angie Lastman is in for Al this morning. Angie, good morning. Some folks waking up to rain, huh?
Indeed. Great to be with you guys. Good morning. We unfortunately have some of the showers kind of sticking around, at least for the first half of the day across parts of the Northeast. If you live anywhere from D.C. to Boston, you're going to see this kind of wind down and have a drier second half of the day, but we could still see some of these leftover showers and even some thunderstorms across the Ohio Valley. So umbrella needed across that region today. And then we look ahead to tomorrow, where we ramp up that severe weather threat yet again. We've got 12 million people really watching from Minneapolis to Wichita for those strongest storms to develop. The hail, the wind gusts, and a couple of tornadoes on the table for folks tomorrow. That threat shifts a little farther to the south by the time we round out our work week. 13 million people across parts of Arkansas, Missouri, Texas, Oklahoma included in that. And again, you guessed it, more of those same threats that we're going to have to watch for. We really ramp things up and are most concerned about the severe weather as we get into Saturday. Wichita to Oklahoma City, we've got an enhanced risk there. Let's look at the weather across the country. We'll get to your local forecast in the next 30 seconds.
Hi, Grace.
You're in a ball.
So rocky, no Diane Grace atmosphere. I come up.
Oh, you're coming up. Oh.
Foreign body detected.
Grace and Rocky, big science. How to kill astrophage together. I keep going this way. This room boring.
Back now at 7:30 as Carson joins us. That was a scene from Project Hail Mary. Ryan Gosling's character sharing the screen with one of my favorite characters of the year, Rocky. Rocky, that scene-stealing, friendly alien. And coming up in Pop Star, we're going to tell you why Rocky could be getting some Oscar
Well, I haven't seen it, but it's, there's an actor behind Rocky, but it's a situation, and we're going to straighten it all out in Pop Star.
Okay. All right.
We've got that coming up. But first, we're going to start with the controversy that's been making waves in the NFL after a series of photos that captured Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel and veteran NFL reporter Diana Rossini at a luxury resort holding hands and hugging.
Well, now Vrabel is addressing the incident that cost Rossini her job. NBC's Emily Aketa is here with more on all of it. Em, good morning.
Hey, guys. Good morning to you. It was just a few days ago when Diana Russini resigned from her role at The Athletic after those photos were published. Now, Vrabel, who initially denied any wrongdoing, is addressing what he calls a personal and private matter, saying his focus is football, but admitting he's had to have several difficult conversations.
Thank you for your patience that you've shown in a personal and private matter for me and obviously everybody involved.
New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel speaking out about those controversial tabloid photos, capturing him and longtime NFL reporter Diana Russini at an Arizona resort.
I've had some difficult conversations with people that I care about, with my family, the organization, the coaches, the players. Those have been positive and productive.
His comments Tuesday lasted just 2.5 minutes and come 1 week after Russini chose to resign from her position at The Athletic.
We believe in order to be successful on and off the field, you have to make good decisions. That includes me.
The firestorm first ignited when the pair, who are both married to other people, were snapped holding hands, hugging, and lounging poolside together. Both have previously denied any wrongdoing, saying the photos were taken out of context.
We never want to be the cause of a distraction.
There's going to be some dirty games out there.
NBC News has learned Vrabel, who led the Patriots to the Super Bowl earlier this year, is not being investigated by the NFL. But The Athletic, which is owned by the New York Times, did launch a review of Russini's conduct before she stepped down, saying its coverage is deeply rooted in our integrity and our commitment to earning the trust of our audience. Russini said she decided to step down because she didn't want to lend the episode further oxygen or let it define me or my career.
Can I borrow your whistle?
No.
Please?
50 seconds. No. 50.
Now at the center of controversy, the head coach's latest remarks driving divided reaction.
He did what he had to do to protect the team.
It was garbage. It was trash. You should be fired.
Are you surprised he didn't provide more context around the photos?
I'm definitely a little surprised he didn't provide more context, but I think as long as he addressed it clearly with the players, I think that'll matter more to them than what he says publicly.
And just looking at the timing of all of this, Vrabel spoke out the day after teams could start off-season workouts and just ahead of the NFL draft. Vrabel saying he doesn't want to be a distraction. We reached out to the Patriots and The Athletic for comment, but I've not heard back from either, guys.
Okay. Emily Aketa. Thanks, Em.
All right, just ahead, big news in the booming weight loss industry. Amazon now selling some of the most popular drugs on the market. We're going to tell you if it can save you some money.
All right, but up next on this Earth Day, if you have a stack of old electronics just sitting around, Vicki Wynn is going to show us how that trash can be turned into treasure.
Good morning, guys. You're looking at shredded plastic that came from old televisions, toys, computers, laptops, you name it. We're at the largest electronics recycling facility in the United States. This bag is full of thousands of dollars of precious metals, things like copper and palladium, even gold, that come out of our old electronics. We're going to show you how it is all recycled. An exclusive sneak peek next.
We're back now with a special Earth Day edition of In Depth today and an exclusive look at what happens when you recycle those old electronics, from phones and computers to TVs, even toys.
I keep a lot of that stuff, which adds to this fact, according to the UN, 62 million metric tons of e-waste is generated annually, and that number's only going up.
And some of it is in my cellar right now. Vicki Wynn looked into this. Hey, Vic, good morning.
Hey, good morning and happy Earth Day to you all. I traveled to Plainfield, Indiana, to the largest electronics recycling center in the U.S. to see firsthand where millions of discarded devices are sent every year. Each one gets sorted, shredded, and given a new purpose.
Here is a garbage can full of old electronics.
We all have them. Stacks of old phones, broken laptops, that dreaded tangle of cords, cables, defunct chargers.
This random bin of old electronic accessories.
Shoved in drawers or crammed in the garage, or worse, thrown away and ending up in our landfills. It's called e-waste, defined as discarded, unused, or broken electronic devices. It's one of the fastest growing solid waste streams in the world, with the potential to leak hazardous substances like lead and mercury into the environment if disposed of improperly.
What do you do with old electronics?
That's where super centers like this one come in. Aaron Blum is the co-founder of ERI, the largest recycler of electronics in the country.
So tell me about this facility.
So this facility processes about 250 to 300,000 pounds of electronics per day. You've got toys, you've got laptops, you've got tablets, you've got phones.
First up, the production line, where batteries and other dangerous material are separated.
So what they're doing here is very important to make sure only the right materials go into the machines.
That is correct. And if you don't pull out the material that can't go in the shredder, you have potential of an environmental issue or also a fire risk if batteries get through.
Next, personal devices go through data wiping and dismantling for consumer protection.
He's drilling a hole through the actual hard drive.
Oh, wow. So there's no concern about your private materials when you send a laptop off to recycle it.
That is correct.
And the main event, the largest e-waste shredder in America, complete with AI robotic arms for separating materials.
We process about 75,000 up to 150,000 pounds a day of shredded material. This is going to be your circuit board. So this is going to have your precious metals on it, your gold, your silver, and your palladium.
Each of these bags contains thousands of dollars worth of precious metals that can be reused instead of being mined.
Someone might look at this and be like, oh, this just looks like trash. Come to find out, this is the most valuable item we generate off our shredder.
Also being spit out, plenty of plastic.
This is just plastic?
That's just plastic coming out. That could be printer plastic, that could be a TV plastic, that could be desktop plastic, you name it.
So when we see made with recycled plastic on an electronic, it's this stuff.
It's coming from this stuff.
ERI partners with state and local governments on free recycling programs, as well as major retailers and manufacturers like Samsung.
Getting this material back is critical. We're trying to build a circular economy for our industry.
Mark Newton is the head of sustainability for Samsung North America.
Why is recycling so important when it comes to electronics?
We're running out of material. We simply can't source raw material for all the electronics that have become ubiquitous in our lives.
Samsung's new Galaxy phones and earbuds are made out of 20% recycled materials.
What's really cool is how we've been able to integrate glass and metals.
Newton says the goal is to reuse even more materials in future products, with help from people trading and turning in all those dusty, defunct devices.
This is not trash, it's treasure, and we need to get it back into our economy.
And it's pretty easy to do, actually. There are multiple ways to recycle your electronics, and it's all free. You can look up drop-off centers and events that are run by your state and local government, but you can also go to a retailer like Best Buy or Staples. They take e-waste for recycling. Just remember, as we showed you, ERI will wipe the data and destroy your hard drive, but the best practice as a consumer, do it yourself. Yeah. Do that factory reset on your phone, your tablet, your computer, before you even drop it off, because you just don't want your personal information to get into the wrong hands.
Yeah.
Like cords? Does this work for cords?
Yes, literally everything.
Yeah.
I have a huge bag of cords, and I was like, oh, I'm going next time I go to like Best Buy. There you go.
I know. And why is it so hard to part with those cords?
Because you might need one day. That's exactly. I'm going to give you a JBL speaker for Christmas, and you're going to go, do I have the right one?
I'll
Yes,
be like,
I do.
A USB.
Is it a micro USB?
Yeah, I know.
Some
totally.
toy for your kid.
Right. What I do actually is I use a label maker and I put a label on that cord. So I'm like, oh, it goes to the thing, the red light mask or whatever.
Thank you.
I know.
You make a ton of business like that.
Yeah, I should.
That's a good service.
I'll start here.
Perfect Earth Day story. Angela Aspen in for Al, standing by with another check of that weather. Hey, Angie.
Yeah, hey there, guys. We, of course, on Earth Day, we've got to see what's going on. Specifically, we've got some concerns across parts of Florida and Georgia. We've got a whole lot of wildfires, 9 active right now. Evacuations have happened, damage to structures already happening. And even if you aren't near the fires, you're going to see that air quality be unhealthy for some folks. So if you have asthma and such, you're going to want to make note of that. We've really got all the ingredients for this to worsen through the day today. We've got dry vegetation and we've got humidity levels down to as low as 20%. So not a great conditions for that across Georgia and Florida. But we've also got some kind of mixed bag, if you will, across the country when it comes to temperatures. Really warm conditions centered across the middle of the country. We're talking high 80s for the northern plains. Still a sliver of the northeast running cooler than normal with just a high of 57 today in New York City. That milder air works its way east by the time we get into tomorrow. Let's look at the weather across the country. Let's see what's happening in your neighborhood. And that's a look at your forecast, guys.
Thank you, Angie.
All right, Angie, also in your forecast, a pop start sneak peek. Welcome to the big table, Ange. Here we go. We got a hit franchise soaring back to the box office.
Maverick, you've been called back to Top Gun.
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
up there. It's larger than life.
Talk to me, Goose.
Talk to me, Goose.
Great idea.
I mean, isn't that great? That just brings me right back to 1986. All right, so that's the original Top Gun. It's returning to theaters alongside the 2022 sequel, Top Gun Maverick. Both films getting re-released in honor of the franchise's 40th anniversary. Tom Cruise shared this special message on social media to celebrate. The double feature hits theaters on May 13th for only 1 week. And a reminder, we also mentioned last week that Top Gun 3 is in the works, with Tom also set to return as everybody's favorite fighter pilot there. A double feature of both Top Guns.
Would 100% go to
In
that.
1986, I see Top Gun, and the other double feature was Desperately Seeking Susan.
Oh,
with
yeah,
Madonna.
I loved that movie, too.
Now I get to watch both for only a week, though, guys. You got to get in.
The complete encyclopedia until 3 comes.
So now, Angie, that was just an appetizer.
Oh, yeah? An
The Pop
appetizer.
Start main course
Oh, I
coming
can't
up.
wait.
Also up next this morning's Morning Boost. Surprise party plot twists. We'll have that for you right after this.
Welcome back, guys. You want a boost?
Boost
I get to do one. It's a surprise for the ages. One couple just pulled the ultimate switcheroo on their friends who thought they were just getting together for a surprise birthday party, only for the surprise to get turned around on them.
That's a good one.
Shared this one on social media. They are expecting a baby girl. By the looks of it, she already has a good crew waiting for them.
Idea.
That is very, very cute.
That's a good one. That was good. I didn't see
Wow, they thought they were so cool, surprising them.
They got.
Yeah, they did.
They got
Cute.
got.
Guys, more baby news on the way, and a baby elephant that has already got Washington, D.C. wrapped around her little trunk. Ryan Noble's at the National Zoo with a behind-the-scenes look at her big debut.
And coming up in Pop Start, the numbers are in, and The Pit is officially a hit. We're going to tell you why the award-winning show just reached a new milestone. After a quick check of your local news and weather.
It's 8 o'clock on Today. Coming up, overnight attacks. Iran's military striking multiple ships in the Strait of Hormuz hours after President Trump's ceasefire extension. Plans for peace talks now on hold. Where it goes from here in a live report. Then, special delivery. Amazon, the latest major retailer jumping into the weight loss drug market, offering same-day shipping on those popular GLP-1 medications. All the details just ahead. And elephant in the room. There's a baby on board at the National Zoo this morning. We'll introduce you to their newest addition, ready to make her grand public debut. Plus, counting stars. Charlize Theron live in Studio 1A to fill us in on her thrilling new role.
Think you can handle it?
Yeah, I think I can handle it. Plus, Coleman Domingo and Nia Long here to talk about their own thriller.
You got a problem with that, Michael?
We need to have a reasonable conversation about this, Joseph.
All the details on the highly anticipated movie, Michael, today, Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026.
Hi to my son at the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. Hi, Charles. Girls trip from Warwick, Rhode Island.
Visiting from Warrenton, Virginia.
Hi, Dawn and Jason. Sending love to my family back in Missouri.
Hello, Maysboro, Texas.
Good morning to my students at Taunton High School back in Massachusetts.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Oh, hands high in the air. Welcome back to Today. Nice to have you with us. It's Wednesday morning. A little bit of chilly one, little raindrops here and there. Typical April spring surprise.
But we are halfway to the weekend.
Yes,
though.
we are. Let's get right to your news. 8 o'clock, much to get to. Starting with breaking news overnight. Iran attacking multiple ships in the Strait of Hormuz, complicating efforts to resume peace talks with the U.S. We're going to get the latest now. NBC's Keir Simmons in the region for us. Keir, good morning.
Savannah, good morning to you. And it's really been an uncompromising response from the Iranian regime to that announcement by President Trump overnight that he would delay the end of the ceasefire indefinitely. An advisor to Iran's lead negotiator saying that it means nothing and urging a military response. And now, this morning, that news that Iran has seized 2 cargo ships in the Strait of Hormuz and has targeted another with gunfire. President Trump hoping that he could force the Iranians back to the negotiating table here in Islamabad. Instead, the Iranians saying that they will only come back for talks if President Trump lifts that blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump saying that they will not do that. He says if we do that, there can never be a deal with Iran unless we blow up the rest of their country, their leaders included. So for now, President Trump stepping back from escalating militarily. But, Savannah, this remains a fragile truce, Savannah.
All right, Keir Simmons, thank you very much.
Virginia voters approved a redistricting plan yesterday that will redraw the state congressional map for the remainder of the decade. The move could also boost Democrats' chances of winning 4 additional House seats in November's midterm elections. The constitutional amendment passed by a narrow margin, though, just over 51% voting yes. But the vote may not be the final word there. The state Supreme Court is still considering whether the plan is legal.
Big news out of the UK. Children 17 years old or younger are now facing a lifetime ban on buying cigarettes. This is landmark legislation. It's been approved by Parliament. It would prohibit anyone born in 2009 or later from ever buying tobacco products, including cigarettes and vapes. The proposal is expected to go into law after a formal approval by King Charles. The rule will apply in England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland.
Well, now to some big news out of the weight loss industry. Amazon announcing plans to sell the most popular GLP-1 medications, even offering same-day delivery in much of the country. But the big question this morning is, will it actually save you money? NBC business correspondent Brian Chung joining us now with details on that. So let's just start there, B. Chung. Is it going to be cheaper to order these drugs through Amazon?
Yeah, well, good morning, Craig. Morning, Savannah. We looked at the pricing. It looks about the same. Here's what Amazon is offering as they're trying to jump into this over $100 billion industry. They're going to offer oral GLP-1 drugs for as cheap as $25 a month for those with insurance. For those that don't have insurance, there's the cash pay option of $149 a month. For the injectable versions, they're going to price that at around $299 per month. Again, starting price that could increase depending on when those dosages increase over time. So if the pricing is about the same as our team kind of looked across the industry, then really what Amazon is trying to sell you on is that same-day delivery. They're advertising that same-day delivery that can happen in nearly 3,000 cities and towns across the United States. So for people that just want that medication faster, that seems to be what Amazon is trying to sell them on.
Do you have to be a Prime member, though, to get that?
Yeah, and this is where it gets a little bit confusing. So Amazon is offering this through One Medical. That would be an add-on to a Prime subscription. So if you're a Prime member, you have to pay another $99 a year to get access to One Medical and then this type of medication. If you are not a Prime member, you can also get access to this Amazon service. You have to pay $200, $199 a year in order to get that access. They also offer telehealth visits on a pay-per-visit basis so that people with a prescription already can get a renewal through Amazon and then get the medication.
Amazon really does seem to be delving more and more into
Seems like they're in everything these days.
Well, that's true. Brian Chung, thank you.
Thank you. To the NBA playoffs now, and the story everybody's talking about. San Antonio Spurs superstar Victor Wembanyama is in concussion protocol this morning after a hard fall. And last night's game against the Trailblazers happened early in the second quarter. Wemby didn't play the rest of the game, and it is unclear how long he'll be out. Portland, by the way, coming from behind to win Game 2, 106-103, Game 3 set for Friday.
It was hard to see Wemby go down like that. Meanwhile, in the late game, LeBron James may be 41 years old, but lately he's been playing like he's 21. King James leading the Lakers with 28 points, 8 rebounds. The Lakers taking Game 2, 101-94. They lead the Rockets now 2-0. And here's the bigger part of that story. Not just LeBron playing 20 years younger. The Lakers are winning without Luka and Austin Reeves. So LeBron's essentially put the team on his back, carrying them through the playoffs.
Now, what do you have to say about the Sixers beating the Celtics?
Let's go Sixers.
Is it? Okay, thank you. I mean, come on,
Sixers.
It was a huge comeback in
It
Game 2.
It was. I know you're a Philly
Carson,
household.
I mean, you're just doing L.A., but not mentioning the Sixers?
I know, Craig. Come on, let's be fair, buddy.
Well, next time I will.
That's the job. Coming up in Pop Start, Shania Twain adding to her impressive resume. We're going to tell you what the country icon is about to do for the very first time.
All right, first, though, Meet the new it girl in our nation's capital. Ryan Noble's bringing us the story of the baby elephant who is going to be drawing some serious crowds at the National Zoo. We'll do that right after this.
All right, we're back 8:10. Okay, sorry, it was hard to see the clock there for a second. And we've got a new star at the Smithsonian's National Zoo in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, starting today, visitors are going to get to see the zoo's new baby elephant. NBC's Ryan Nobles here with a little bit more on the elephant excitement there in D.C. Hey, Ryan.
Hey guys, good morning. This debut is 25 years in the making. That's the last time a baby elephant was born here at the National Zoo. And we got to spend some time with little Lin Mai this week. And let's just say she is ready to take center stage.
She may weigh more than 500 pounds and take out the equivalent of 2 liters of baby elephant formula in less than 2 minutes. But trust us, Lin Mai is really just an itty-bitty baby.
It's pure joy. I think anybody looking at that elephant calf knows exactly how we're feeling.
This beautiful, not quite little bundle of joy was born at the National Zoo in early February and has spent the last few months getting ready for the thousands of people that will make their way to the zoo to see her.
She better be ready. From what I understand, she's already a very popular lady.
But her entry into the world hasn't been completely smooth. Lin Mai's mother, Ni Lin, who is a first-time mom, did not connect with her new daughter, something that can happen with Asian elephants.
We know that things can go wrong. We know that nothing's perfect. This is also what happens in the wild.
But the zoo was prepared. In steps Swarna.
Once we were really looking for some sort of companionship for Lin Mai, we went right to Swarna. And during their immediate introduction to one another, Swarna's behavior indicated to us that she knew what Lin Mai was. She knew that she needed support.
The older female elephant that had helped to raise calves in the past quickly became Lin Mai's surrogate auntie, a role that is vital to the baby elephant's growth.
They've been inseparable ever since.
Swarna is teaching Lin Mai all the important things elephants need to know.
They don't come out of the womb just knowing how to use their trunk. They've got to be taught.
Correct. They're very similar to us in the fact that they need to learn how to be an elephant and how to master the skills to be successful at it.
And as she matures, she's also growing, between 2 to 3 pounds a day. So if you want to see her as a baby, you better get here quick, because just like human babies, they grow in the blink of an eye.
And it is pretty remarkable to see the baby interact with Swarna, that surrogate auntie. Right now, she's the only elephant that she spends any time with. There is a bit of an introduction with the rest of the herd through a fence line. The goal would be that eventually Lin Mai will be able to join the entire herd and perhaps even reunite with her biological mother. But I have to tell you guys, it's probably not a bit of a surprise. She is absolutely adorable. It's crazy to see her in person.
Wow, what a story, Ryan.
I know, it's kind of, it touches your heart. She had a little adversity.
Yeah, with the auntie stepping in. Ryan, is it possible? What are the odds that she'll be reunited with the biological mom at some point?
The zoo feels pretty confident about that. So it's not uncommon that even in the wild that a mother doesn't necessarily connect with her baby, but over time as they grow and mature, they feel a bit more comfortable with their calf. But they want to take that time to reintroduce her, to get her connected to the rest of the herd. Elephants are very social creatures. They like being together, but they want to take it step by step to make sure she's safe along the way. But they knew that Swarna was prepared to fill in this surrogate auntie role. She's done it many other times over the course of her life, so the zoo had backup after backup after backup plan to make sure that Lin Mai's growth was everything they needed it to be.
Wow, what a heartwarming story.
You know, Ryan, between the pandas and now the elephant, you've really carved out quite the lane for yourself down there in D.C. at the National Zoo.
Yeah, at some point I think I'm going to get an official Smithsonian, one of those the polo shirts they wear. Just said, at some point I have to clean up the poop, though. I think that's when I officially become a member of the
You got to earn your
They're covering it like Capitol Hill, like getting the backstory.
Yes.
You know, a lot of people wouldn't have touched that awkward thing with the mom. You know, sort of the elephant in the room.
That was good. We took the kids down to the zoo last year, and we saw the pandas, the two pandas who are apparently romantically trying to get involved now. And there was a line. I mean, the line was just ridiculous. So between
to watch the pandas?
No, to see the pandas. There's a wall between them.
Okay.
Like, yes. You were here for that story last week, right?
Yeah, sure.
We got Chanel here. She's
Hi, Chanel.
our friend. Carson, what do you got for Pop Star?
Well, we got a big one. I think we took a poll of the Today Show anchors. Our favorite show collectively might be The Pit.
Yes.
I think, we all love it. The numbers are in for the season's dramatic finale.
Don't ruin it.
It's the most important things I've ever done in my life. I've been in this hospital. But it is killing me.
Well, after last week's season 2 finale, the HBO hit medical drama saw a serious spike in streams. Check this out. Variety reporting that this season averaged over 15 million viewers per episode. That's a 50% jump from season 1, putting The Pit in an elite club of HBO Max shows to cross the 15 million mark, along with other hits like The White Lotus and The Last of Us. I am a producer on a hit network TV show, and I look at the data and the numbers. Trust me when I tell you, 15 million these days with the way 15 million an episode, 50% jump is not
crazy.
Wow.
It's like the season finale of MASH got like 50 million
It's
viewers.
incredible
Like
these
they didn't
days.
think this was even possible anymore to get a 15 million.
That's how powerful that show is. It'll be on as long as it wants to be on.
Testament to the quality of the show, but also this love letter. It's this running love letter to healthcare workers too. And
Absolutely, all of it. That's what makes a hit. It's all the stars have to align, and they hit it out of the park. Guys, tomorrow we're excited because attending, Dr. Robbie's going to be here. We're going to talk about the hit show. Noah Wiley will join us in Studio 1A. All right, next up, we've got Project Hail Mary. Award show season might be a short 8 months away, but we're already keeping our eyes on Ryan Gosling for this box office smashing role. Oh, and his intergalactic co-star who found this voice with The Star in Space.
It has charm, but no. Why is a school teacher in space?
Why is a school teacher in space?
That's not bad.
I like.
All right. And in answer to your question, I have no idea what I'm doing in space. I don't remember.
Well, there's Ryan's only co-star in space. That's Rocky. And even though we never see the man behind that lovable alien on screen, we just might get a glimpse of him on stage when the Oscars roll around. Variety now reporting performer and master puppeteer Jamie Ortiz will indeed be submitted for Best Supporting Actor in the upcoming awards season. But can a non-traditional performance put up a fair fight against human competition? We're going to have to find out. Now, I offer you this.
Okay.
What if Grogu gets nominated?
Oh my gosh, Baby Yoda.
And it's Grogu against
Versus
Rocky.
Oh my
I know how much you love Grogu, but
Ryan, the alien, or like the traditional performance issue could be.
They need their own category.
They really do.
Maybe that's what it'll turn to.
When Ryan Gosling was here, he talked about how there were like 5 of the puppeteers and how impressive it was every day to see them sort of bring Rocky to life.
I didn't know that puppeteers were the voice.
They're not.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
All right. This one's hot off the press. The Academy of Country Music Awards. They just announced this year's host, and she's no stranger to the ACM stage.
I got my heart set, my feet wet, and he don't even know it. And no one needs to know right now.
Shania Twain, a little throwback there, by the way, from 1996 from the award show. This year, the legendary songwriter making her return, taking the role of host for the first time. The show's set for May 17th in Vegas. It'll include performances from the likes of Casey Musgraves, Lainey Wilson, and Little Big Town. Of course, a bunch of other acts already confirmed as well. Next up, Noah Kahan, the singer-songwriter, is the latest artist to grace NPR's famous Tiny Desk. During his mini concert, Noah unveiled 2 new tracks from his highly anticipated next album, The Great Divide. And here's a clip of one of those new songs called Paid Time Off. It's amazing the places you go now to promote. Like, you know, you see people on eating hot wings on YouTube, or, you know, they go on Call Her Daddy, like it's Barbara Walters. And now musicians go to NPR for Tiny Desk, stripped down.
I love it.
It's so cool.
I'll go on and I'll just listen to all the different, you know, from Usher to No.
Oh, they have all sorts of genres.
Tons.
Yeah,
great concept.
The new Noah Kahan album, by the way, is excellent. It's out on Friday, and it's his first in 4 years. I got an early copy of it.
Ooh, good.
It's really good, yeah. Next up, Coachella this month. Justin Bieber took the stage at the Popular Music Festival, performing some of his biggest career hits. Little baby Bieber throwback, the crowd going wild, and so did Bieber's fans at home. This week, 7 of his albums are back on the charts. It's the most albums of his entire career to ever sit on the Billboard 200 list. Jeez. He's not the only one. Sabrina Carpenter, Karol G also seeing the big Billboard bump for Spike from Coachella. Yes, exactly. And finally, my buddy Jimmy Kimmel, the late night host, sharing a sweet update on his son Billy, who was born in 2017 with a congenital heart disease, posting this adorable picture of little Billy with that big fish. By the way, there's a hashtag catch and release on that fish, don't worry. It's his 9th birthday. Over the years, Jimmy's been very open about Billy's health journey, and the medical staff at Children's LA Hospital and Cedars-Sinai, who helped him out, continuing that tradition of asking people to donate should they feel they can. He would like them to donate to the hospitals in honor of Billy's birthday. So a big happy birthday to Big Billy from all of us here in New York.
That's great.
Guys, that's your Pop Start today.
Thank you very much. We got it. Oh, we love a good thriller that keeps you glued to the edge of your seat. And this week's new release, Apex, well, it does just that. It follows a woman fighting for her life in the Australian wilderness. And when that woman is played by Oscar winner Charlize Theron, well, you know we are in for a heck of a ride. Charlize, welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I mean, listen, this is not a film. I was just telling you, I watched it. It's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
And if you have a fear of heights, it's probably going to make you uncomfortable a few times. Is it true that going in, you had a bit of an aversion to heights yourself?
Just a little, just a tiny bit. I have to take it slow with heights. Like, I have to introduce myself to it and make friends with it.
Okay.
And then we're buddies, and then we go party.
And you did a lot of partying in this film. And you learned how to rock climb for the role.
Yes, I did. I was so lucky. I got to learn with this incredible rock star of a rock climber, Beth Rodden, who spent a month with me and did her best to try and teach me how to pass as a rock climber.
It's always struck me as one of those sports where there's very little room for error.
Yes.
Like if something goes sideways when you're rock climbing, that's a completely different story.
Especially without a rope, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I have such an admiration and respect for climbers now because the dedication and the willpower and the brain power and the problem solving and the physical aspect of it, it's an incredible sport.
You've done things similar to this before in terms of stunts, and we pulled up just a few of the ways in which Charlene has impressed us over the years. You hung from the side of a helicopter in the Old Guard 2 there. You trained in martial arts for fight scenes in Atomic Blonde. You performed some pretty extensive acrobatics in Aeon Flux. Are you trying to kill yourself at work?
No, I am not. I'm a mom. You know, I want to go home to my kids at the end of the night. That's what's so wonderful about my business. You get to work with the best. And I have to say, in the stunt world, there are just these incredible humans who work really hard. So by the time I walk onto the set, everything's been tested and stress tested and foolproof. And the safety part of it is very important to me.
I enjoyed the chemistry between you and Taron Egerton, who's going to be here later this week to talk about the film. I don't want to give away too much, but he plays evil pretty well.
He's not very nice.
Yeah, in the film.
In the film, oh my God,
life,
he's so nice in real life.
There's something that caught my attention over the weekend that I want to ask you about. It was in the New York Times, and for our audience who may not be familiar with it, I'm just going to read just an excerpt. You were talking about this perception that some people have of you, the perception that you're a tough B word. We can't say it on morning television. Quote, it's funny because people think I'm a tough B word. A lot of people think I'm very cold. I'm sometimes a little brash, and people take that as she's so tough. And it's the complete opposite. Why do you think that is the perception? How did that come to be?
Well, like I said, I think I'm very direct. South Africans are very direct, and we don't beat around the bush. I'm not very good with small talk and things like that. And I think sometimes when I walk onto a set and I'm that direct, I think people take that as kind of like being cold or, but I'm a softie at heart. I think people are just always shocked when they hear like, oh, she cries at the drop of a hat, her kids, or when they see me, like when I'm around my kids or I talk about my kids and they're like, wait, I thought she was a bee.
Oh, so they just assume you're devoid of emotion.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just when you're direct and you kind of like look at people and you're direct with them, I think sometimes people can take that. Maybe it's, I'm more sensitive to it because I am a South African, and sometimes I find Americans kind of so squishy, like they're so good at small talk and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm here for the water. Can we get to that?
Yeah. Well, sometimes, yes, you're right. We Americans do use a lot of words to say very few things.
Yeah.
I want to show a split screen here because there's this juxtaposition that I think people have always really enjoyed when it comes to Charlize. There's Charlize from Apex hanging off of a cliff. And there you are in a Christian Dior ad. You've worked with Christian Dior for many years now. Which one do you identify with most? Which of those two?
Well, looking at that, I look like a crazy bee. I identify with both. I feel like even when I was a kid, I would go climb trees and then I would go play dress up in my mom's closet. I don't feel foreign in one or the other. I think women we're complex. I don't think we're one thing or the other.
You are, of course, Apex is this weekend. You've got another huge movie coming out in just a few months. By the way, it's one of those films that sold out like a year ago, The Odyssey. You're in The Odyssey. What's it like being in a film that's been hyped so much for so long?
You know, it's no pressure. Actually, it is no pressure for me because I am in it for a very small part. It's an incredible ensemble cast. Matt Damon is at the head of that cast. I was very lucky to go spend the last week with them. Super fun. The news that the tickets actually sold out happened when I was shooting with them, which was like the end of the movie. And I just remember it was like my second day. And not that any of this pressure is on my shoulders, but I just went like, okay, I better not F it up for the next 3 days. It's a little bit of pressure.
Have you seen the final cut yet?
I haven't. Okay. No, I have not.
All right. Well, come back when it's out. Charlize, thank you.
I will. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And stay safe.
I will. I promise.
Stay safe.
I like coming back here. I like talking to you. I will stay safe.
All right. Charlize Theron. Apex. It hits Netflix this Friday. Check it out. Mr. Daly.
Looking forward to that, guys. All right, Jill Martin is here. We got steals and deals to refresh your routine for spring. What are we like, 80% off, 90% off?
Yep.
The deals are so good. But first, this is Today on NBC.
And no rock climbing here.
No, very...
Jill's Steals and Deals is sponsored by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Shop like a 2%er with Active Cash.
All right, we're back with a new batch of steals and deals filled with fresh finds, all under $50. Our friend Today lifestyle and commerce contributor Jill Martin bringing us all these incredible deals. Again, all for up to 80% off. You got a QR code on the screen. Pull out your phone. Use that and shop along at home. Jill, we don't have much time. Lots of great products. Where do you want to start?
Okay, I want to start with something that this is actually, So this is the Quinn tote and pouch. The retail is $165. The deal price is $34. That's 79% off. This is your everyday, everywhere bag. It's lightweight. It has organization. It's only as heavy as you fill it. And I just want to say, it's the tote with the organization on the outside. and this pouch. And this is actually my pouch from my, look at all the stuff.
What's in the pouch?
I mean, everything.
Look at the cash.
Yeah, I always have cash on
my
me.
gosh, you're
But look,
loaded, girl.
hand sanitizer, everything. And anyway, it holds
wild.
it holds
Wild.
everything. It's called
Wild.
Steals and Deals. It comes in a great great amount of colors, so really pick that
Both
up. Fabulous.
$34. Hit the QR code.
Great.
I love that. This is so soft. This whole thing. I don't know what it is.
I saw you put that in your pocket. The Bene Pour Refining Wand, the retail $125.99, the deal price $34, 73% off. Okay. So first of all, I use this TMI in the shower. You turn it on, and it vibrates, and you put your cleanser on. And just stay with me. And you put your cleanser on, and it'll really get your face clean. I love that.
Nice.
And then on the back, you can have hot or cold that you could use to depuff.
That's nice.
That you could, it's really great. So this is an all-in-one.
$34.
50 uses for a single charge.
And it has the red light therapy, too.
Yep. So it has hot and cold. You see the buttons on the front.
Oh, got it.
Comes in all the colors. Also a great gift. Okay, my mother is a French teacher, but I'm going to try here. The Panier de Saint Marseille soap and hand cream duo, the retail $43.80, the deal price $20. 54% off. This is one of our favorite sets. It blows out every time. It comes in 6 cents. You get this soap, which is fabulous, and then you get the beautiful cream, which is travel size, so you can carry. So it's really just what kind of, they have jasmine and sea sapphire and orange blossom, so it's really whatever scent you want. But this is so great as a gift and also for a guest room.
It just looks expensive. That's a good
It
deal.
does, right. It really does. I love things like that.
All right, let's get the towels today.
So this is something that I really stress to upgrade when you're going through your home and you're like, what could I do first? This is really good. The Peacock Alley 6-piece bath towel set. It's luxurious. You get 2 large bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. Just a great, I think white is a pop of color, so I have, to get new white, beautiful towels, and they're $48, 70% off for this 6-piece set.
They are really soft and
Aren't
look like
they?
they would be in a 5-star hotel.
Yeah, and very absorbent. So really, when you think about it, it's a great place to start.
Yep.
And I just learned to do shapes in towels. Like make a swan.
What can you make? You make a swan?
A swan from my guest with the
impressive,
towels. Okay, the Sultra Infrared Thermal Brush, the retail $199, the deal price $39, 80% off.
Wow, what a deal.
What's different about this is you use it on dry hair only, so you add volume, create curls, smooth frizz, straighten, a salon quality blowout. It goes up to 450 degrees, and you see how you can do this at home and easily. It has a 360 swivel cord, so it makes it easy for beginners to use. Sometimes you get these things and you're like, what do I do?
Well, sometimes they're like $400, these things. They're ridiculous.
And normally it is. This is $39.
I love
and
that.
so this really allows you to get volume and like that black tie look.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Nia Long wanted it.
Okay. Oh, son.
Do you have a
Nia,
preference in color?
Nia, for $39, I'll get you one in every color.
There you go.
Okay, well, let's see if you're interested in this next one to go with it. The Hairtamin Biotin Hair Care Bundle set of 3, retail $99, deal price $44.50. That's 55% off with free shipping. So let me tell you what you get here.
Sorry.
You get the shampoo, which is
Don't leave
gentle
Coleman
and
out of the deal
cleansing.
here.
We'll get to that in a minute. The conditioner, which is super hydrating. And then you get the dry shampoo, which will keep your blowout, as Nia can help me say. I do a blowout like once a week, once every 10 days, and then the dry shampoo just keeps it going.
All right.
And it's great for scalp health.
Great stuff today.
Yeah.
Can we recap it all, do you mind?
Yeah, I think maybe you should recap it because you have everything.
I have some really good absorbent towels. They're beautiful.
I have a beautiful hairbrush dryer.
Yeah, the
I will be
Bene wand.
using this afternoon on my pony.
The Panier
After I
de
take my
Saint hand
afternoon
soap.
shower,
We didn't
I'll
give
be
you that yet.
using these.
We
Yes.
did the towel set, the
That's right.
Sultra brush, and
Thank you.
the Hairtamin trio.
Good stuff there, guys. Thank you, Jill. Shop, scan the QR code, head to today.com/deals.
Wait, you didn't
We've got
get
even
this.
more exclusive deals there, by the way, when you land online. All right, Jill's delivering some more gifts. We're back. You're back on Saturday, by the way, for a super special,
Yes,
too.
join me
Steals and Deals.
Saturday.
Join us for that.
Out, Steals
Craig,
and Deals.
sorry to leave you out. Go ahead.
Carson, thank you, Jill. Thank you.
Good, we're staying all day.
Now that they've gotten the free swag,
I love a freebie.
we're going to talk about the biopic Michael, and cannot wait to talk to Coleman Domingo and Nia Long. But first, this is Today on NBC.
Good morning.
We're back at 8:51 with Coleman Domingo and Nia Long. The highly anticipated new film, Michael. It's about the king of pop's rise to fame. Coleman and Nia, well, they play as parents, Joe and Katherine Jackson. Take a look.
we need to capitalize on Michael's album. So we're gonna do a bunch of songs.
Joseph, I need to think.
No, sir. I told you what to think. You got a problem with that, Michael?
We need to have a reasonable conversation about this, Joseph.
You think now because you're a big superstar and you got this big hit album that you're better than everybody in this house. Is that it? You're better than your brothers. Your mother and me.
Nia, welcome back. Coleman, welcome back.
Thank you.
You know, it was an ambitious undertaking, to say the least. I saw it a few days ago. You're both marvelous in the film, and I'm not just saying that because you're sitting here. But you're telling the story of Michael Jackson, the biggest star on the planet for the 80s, the 90s. How do you even begin to tell that story?
With honesty. You just have to stay in the moment with honesty. I think for me, Catherine, a lot of the preparation came with the hair, the makeup, the teeth, the wardrobe, and just understanding her grace and her love and her patience and her commitment to her family. Yeah.
Do we know if Catherine Jackson has she seen the film?
Jafar said that she's seen it.
Yeah.
She's seen the film and she said she felt like, you brought Michael back to me.
Yeah,
wow.
Which is
she
a
loved
beautiful
it.
thing. She loved it. We both had a chance to speak with her and sit with her on our premiere night a couple nights ago. It was extraordinary.
That's high praise.
And the whole family.
That's high praise. Coleman, you played Joe Jackson. And for folks who are familiar with the Jackson family dynamic, Joe, complicated character, to say the least.
Yeah, well, he's a father. He's a father, and I feel like I took the lens of really looking at Joe, examining him from the point of view of being a father, a blue-collar father at a certain time in America when all he had was to give himself to his family to make sure they succeeded. And so, it was rigor, work ethic, and
discipline.
And discipline. But also, the beautiful thing is, there was an interview that Jackie just did the other day, just explained that his father really helped them and guided them to be the performers that they were. They wanted to be performers. Mm-hmm. And Joe really, he saw what his children were, and he really made sure that...
But he pushed them hard.
Yeah, but...
Abusive at times.
Yeah. But, you know what, listen, I don't have anything, I don't know what to say about that because I wasn't there, but all I do know is that his work ethic and his rigor did produce the most incredible musicians on this planet.
Now, when folks watch this, what do you want them to leave? Because first of all, they'll leave the theater singing and dancing because all of Michael's hits are in the film. But what do you want them to take with them when they leave?
Just an appreciation for his body of work. What Michael Jackson has contributed to the arts and to music it's created. The music alone tells a story. There's history. There's the visuals. He's one of the first artists to ever black artists to appear on MTV.
Yeah.
And I think these videos were like short films, storytelling. But to celebrate his legacy, to celebrate the man behind the music.
To that end, and I don't want to give away too much, but the film does stop in 1988.
Yes.
Several years before the first child molestation allegations were made. And, we live in an environment now where we take survivors of sexual abuse, we take their stories very seriously. What would you say to folks who see this and they're like, you know what? They whitewashed that part. They didn't even include that part. How do you reconcile your performance with that?
I think the film takes place, from the 60s to 1988. So it does not go into the first allegations in 2005. Right. So basically, we center it on the makings of Michael. So it's an intimate portrait of who Michael is. So it really just
through his eyes. Sorry,
through his eyes. No, I'm saying through his eyes, truly. So that's what it is. So that's what this film is. And there's a possibility of it being a part 2 that may deal with some other things that happen afterwards. This is about the making of Michael, how he was raised, and then how he was trying to find his voice as an artist and be a solo artist. And then the movie, that's what I have to say about that.
But it sounds like there may be a sequel.
Could be a sequel.
There could be.
It could be. We don't know yet.
The price is right.
We don't know, but we had a good time. But this film is, I just saw it again, and it's such joy and love, and you need to see it in a theater with people.
Yes.
It's big. Go see it in IMAX. But it's something to bring us together again. With
Michael is in theaters this Friday. Coleman, thank you. Neil Long, thank you. Third hour is coming up right after your local news and weather.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.